You're looking at a painting called The Hands Resist Him. Chances are you've seen it before, lurking in some dark corner of the internet. It's the image that terrified thousands and earned the title of the haunted eBay painting. The story that travels with it is that just looking at it, even on a screen, can make you sick, cause kids to scream in the night, and even invite shadowy figures into your home. For over 20 years, it's been a foundational piece of internet lore, a digital ghost story passed from one forum to another. But what if I told you the legend is only half the story? The real story behind the painting, the weird fate of the people who owned it, and what the artist was actually trying to say, is even more bizarre, more complex, and in the end, way more unsettling than any internet legend. We're going to pull apart the layers of myth and pixels to get to the truth. But be warned, some doors, once you open them, can't be closed again. Our story, like a lot of modern legends, starts online. The year is 2000. The internet is still a kind of wild, untamed place, and on eBay, a listing pops up that would change paranormal pop culture forever. An anonymous couple from California posts a painting they say they found abandoned behind an old brewery. The title of their listing is simple and chilling: Haunted Painting. The description they wrote is the stuff of nightmares. They claimed their 4-year-old daughter was the first one to notice something was wrong. She insisted that the two figures in the painting, the boy and the doll, were coming to life at night. She told her parents they would fight and that the boy was trying to escape the frame. Thinking it was just a child's overactive imagination, the parents set up a motion-activated camera to calm her down. Instead, they claimed the camera captured photographic proof of the haunting. The pictures they included in the listing were grainy, and you couldn't see much, but the story was explosive. The sellers alleged that the boy would physically climb out of the painting, and the doll with her empty eyes would hold what they called a gun to threaten the boy and keep him from leaving. The listing went viral. This was before social media as we know it, so the story spread through email chains and message boards. The auction page was viewed over 30,000 times, a massive number for the year 2000. But it wasn't just the seller's story that was fanning the flames. It was the reports from people who were just looking at it. People from all over the world claimed they started suffering from a whole host of terrifying symptoms just from viewing the digital image. They reported sudden, crippling anxiety, blackouts, and an uncontrollable feeling of dread. Some said their kids would burst into tears the second the picture showed up on the screen. Others reported hearing voices or feeling a sudden, intense cold fill the room. Printers would supposedly jam, and computer screens would freeze on the image of the boy and the doll. The sellers threw in a disclaimer, freeing themselves of any responsibility for whatever might happen to the winning bidder. This, of course, just made things crazier. The internet had found its first truly cursed digital object. Bids started flooding in. The story wasn't about a painting anymore. It was about a phenomenon, an object that could seemingly reach through your screen and mess with the real world. After 30 bids, it sold for $1,025 to a gallery owner named Kim Smith, who ran Perception Gallery in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The internet held its breath, just waiting to see what would happen next. But the eBay auction in 2000 wasn't the start of the painting's dark history. It was just the chapter that made it famous. To really get the full picture of the supposed curse, we have to go back to 1972, when the artist, Bill Stoneham, first put his brush to the canvas. Stoneham created the painting as part of a contract with the Feingarten Gallery in Beverly Hills. In 1974, it was featured in his first one-man show. It was reviewed by a major art critic for the Los Angeles Times, Henry Seldes, and then it was bought by the actor John Marley, famous for playing the movie producer Jack Woltz in The Godfather. This is where the timeline of the curse seems to begin. After the painting's first exhibition, a shadow fell over 3 key figures connected to it. The prominent art critic who reviewed it, Henry Seldes, died in 1978. The gallery owner who first showed the painting, Charles Feingarten, passed away in 1981. And finally, its first owner, John Marley, died in 1984. While their deaths were officially unrelated and spread out over a decade, Their close connection to the painting became a dark prelude to the chaos that would later unfold on eBay. After Marley's death, the painting just vanished. Nobody knew where it was for years, until it was supposedly found by the eBay sellers, left behind at an old brewery in California. How it got there from the estate of a famous Hollywood actor is still a total mystery. This gap in its history just adds to the unsettling vibe. What happened in those lost years? Who owned it? And did they feel the same terror that thousands would later report online? The painting seems to drag a trail of misfortune and dread along with it. From the clean halls of a prestigious art gallery to the chaos of an online auction, its story just got darker every year. We're about to look past the legend and reveal the even stranger truth that comes from the artist himself. It's a story about symbols, personal history, and deep mystery. If you find stories like this as fascinating as I do, take a second to subscribe to the channel. We investigate stories like this every week, and you won't want to miss what we have coming up. Now let's get back to the canvas. When Perception Gallery got the painting, they did something brilliant. They actually contacted the artist, Bill Stoneham. By all accounts, he was completely floored by the paranormal circus his painting had turned into. For him, the painting wasn't haunted. It was personal, deeply personal. And the real meaning behind it all is arguably way more profound than any ghost story. The painting is actually a self-portrait. The boy is Bill Stoneham when he was 5 years old, based on an old photo of him from when he was living with his adoptive family. Stoneham was an orphan for the first 9 months of his life, and those feelings of unknown origins and lost connections were a powerful force in his art. That's also where the title comes from. It was inspired by a poem his first wife wrote about his experience with adoption. The other things in the painting are a complex web of symbols. The glass door, Stoneham explains, is the veil between the real, waking world and the world of dreams and impossibilities. The hands pressed against the glass aren't ghosts. They represent other possibilities, the other lives and other paths he could have taken. And the doll, she's not evil. According to Stoneham, she's a guide, a companion who can walk the boy through that door into the other realm. The supposed gun she's holding is just another piece of the internet legend. Stoneham clarified that it's simply a dry cell battery and a tangle of wires, a power source for the doll, not a weapon. So, The Hands Resist Him isn't about a haunting at all. It's about a boy grappling with his past and all his potential futures. It's a deeply symbolic piece about memory, identity, and the infinite unseen pathways of a human life. That unsettling feeling it gives off isn't necessarily supernatural. It's the raw, emotional weight of an artist digging into his own history, his adoption, and the mystery of the family he never got to know. The curse, it would seem, wasn't created by a spirit but by the collective imagination of the internet, projecting all of its fear onto a canvas that was already full of complex human emotion. After the auction, The Hands Resist Him was moved to Perception Gallery in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and that's where it lives now. For the most part, it's kept in storage, away from public view. The gallery owner has reportedly received offers way higher than the $1,025 he paid, but he has refused to sell it. It's only been publicly displayed a handful of times since 2000. The viral fame of his painting inspired Bill Stoneham to go back to its world. He has since created a series of sequels, and even a prequel. Paintings like Resistance at the Threshold show the boy as an old man, still standing in front of the door with his doll guide exploring the passage of time. Another one, The Hands Invent Him, shows the scene from the other side of the glass, with the artist creating the world we see in the original. These paintings continue the symbolic journey of the first piece. One of the sequels was even bought by Zach Bagans for his haunted museum in Las Vegas. Bill Stoneham is still working as an artist today, living in Washington State and exploring themes of surrealism and dreams. While he's surprised by the legend, he has also admitted the coincidences around the painting are strange, like the deaths of the first gallery owner and critic. He thinks his art can resonate with people on a deep level, maybe opening an inner door for them. The curse seems to have quieted down in recent years, with no new major disturbances reported from the gallery. But the painting's reputation is sealed. It will forever be known as the haunted eBay painting, a landmark piece of internet lore. So is The Hands Resist Him truly cursed? The proof that it's actually haunted is all just stories, really, born from a wild eBay listing and the incredible power of suggestion when thousands of people are looking at the same scary thing. The sickness, the dread, the sightings, it can all be explained by our own minds filling in the blanks when we're faced with something that's just deeply unsettling. And yet, the story lingers. The strange deaths of the men connected to it early on, its mysterious disappearance and reappearance, and the pure, gut-level reaction it provokes in so many people. These are the things that give the legend its power. The painting exists in two worlds now. In one, it is Bill Stoneham's personal symbolic exploration of his own life. In the other, it is a malevolent object that terrified thousands and became one of the internet's most lasting ghost stories. Perhaps the real curse is that we can never see it as just one or the other. The legend and the reality are now permanently tangled together. The boy and the doll stand frozen before that glass door, a barrier between what is real and what we can only imagine. And we, the viewers, are left to wonder on which side of the glass the truth really lies. What do you think? Is this a case of mass hysteria kicked off by a genius bit of marketing? Or is there something genuinely paranormal captured on that canvas? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the unexplained.